And we are live. Well, hope everybody had a good day today. Um, Today was hyperbaric oxygen. Went pretty good. It was quite the experience. There was so many tanks in this room. It was unbelievable. When I first got into the hyperbaric office, I don't know what you call it. It was its own building. So building. There's a really beautiful front desk, and I got to go meet the coolest doctor ever. The doctor was he already read Siegfried's work. He was an actual medical doctor, which made it really cool. Um, so I'll talk about him shortly once more people start joining in here. I'm starting earlier than normal, so hopefully we still have lots of people join in. Usually we're quite a bit later. Um, but this doctor was awesome. So he was a real medical doctor. And he actually introduced me to a doctor that is oh my God, what's the word? It'll come to me later on in the live. Um, but an actual doctor that does other therapy, like metabolic therapy and all kinds of cool stuff. It was really quite amazing. We talked about Siegfried's work. We talked about hyperbaric oxygen. Usually they start you at like 1.7, 1.8, at the most 1.6 usually. But he knows that I'm in a deep fasting state. We tested my glucose while I was there. It was at about 80 before. And he said, "Oh no, let's pump you up. If you can take it. If you can't take it, we'll just take you out." So they started me at 2.2. He's like, Seafreeze work kind of like 2.2, 2.4 is kind of the minimum to be effective. So we'll start you there. Next time I go in, he's like, we'll pump you up to 2.6 oxygen pressure. I don't know if you guys have ever been in an oxygen hyperbaric tank before. They bring you up to pressure over like half hour, which is way longer than I expected, and it was horrible. Felt like my head was gonna explode. I didn't know that once you got to pressure that the experience would get better. I was actually panicking, like I don't know if I can do this for a whole hour once we get to pressure. It's like you're taking off on an airplane, that feeling of your ears popping constantly, except for it's times about 5 or 10. It's constant clear ears. And if you can't get your ears cleared, it can do permanent ear damage. So right away, if you're not getting your ears cleared, you have to knock on the screen, on the glass. You're in a room. There's a bunch of these big chambers. I tried to record, make a video, like I said, but they wouldn't let me video inside. They said next time I come in, the guy at the front desk will set me up in the corner and he'll come over and make a video for me with my camera. So then I can make a full video and post it. So you knock on the glass, they come over, they stop the pressure, they let it you stabilize for 5 minutes or so, and then get your ears cleared. And if you can't get them cleared, then they have to slowly bring you down and bring you out. It's like crazy. And so one time on the way up, I couldn't get my right ear to clear no matter what I did. They had to pause it. Thankfully, I got it cleared, and then I continued on my way. They said the next time you come in, your body will adjust right away. It won't be so bad. So I'm booked to go back in on Monday. My scan is on Tuesday, and I'm actually booked for high dose vitamin C on Thursday. So we're throwing the whole textbook from Siegfried's pressure pulse at this thing. The only thing that I found that I haven't added yet from last night's live was I think it was Kathy, or who was it? It was somebody. And then a couple other people commented on it from Siegfried's pressure pulse. I haven't read it yet. I guess it was published. I need to go read it. Um, but apparently, oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on. One sec. I gotta yell at my wife. Amanda, can you call Maddie? Sorry, Salon urgency thing. Um, so I haven't read the full pressure pulse thing, but apparently you can take ketones. There's some sort of ketone supplement you can take uh boost your ketones. So I'm gonna go to the health food store tomorrow, and I'm gonna get that for sure for my vitamin C and for my next hyperbaric chamber experience. When I came out of the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, my glucose was like 66, I think. It was extremely low. So that's cool. They said if you weren't fasting, we'd be worried about it. It was so low. That was awesome to hear. So hyperbaric chambers are friggin' amazing. So then I got home, so I helped my wife in the morning get the kids ready for school, and then I was on the road and it was just traffic. Like it's a good hike for me to get into Toronto, where this facility is. And like I said, the doctor referred me to, oh my God, what do you call it? Inter oh my God, it's gonna drive me nuts. It's an actual doctor, like a medical doctor that can write me prescriptions covered by OHIP, like metformin and all kinds of cool things. Um, so that's really cool. But they oh my God, there's a name for it. Doesn't matter. They can give me things like metformin and things that in my metabolic therapy and actually help me. And so there's one that's about an hour from my house, an integrative doctor. So I got talking to the doctor at the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and he's like, "Yeah, mainstream doctors won't help with this stuff because they have their standard of practice, and if they go away from it, they'll get fired and lose their license for the rest of their life." So apparently, there was an integrative oncologist and that he knew of that started to integrate lower dose chemo and metabolic therapy, and he was fired for life, or not fired for life, but he was fired from the hospital, when somebody didn't quite still pull through. It's again, keto diet, there's so much involved in this, like, it's not the doctor's fault. But apparently, he was held responsible, he lost his license. So anyways, I was at the hyperbaric chamber all day, I got home, and my daughter made me this. Let's see if we can focus this in. Isn't that amazing? She made that at school. "I love you, daddy." And she felt like she spelled daddy wrong. She couldn't know how to spell daddy, so she wrote it on the back. There's the daddy here. It's kind of backwards, but it's from a 5-year-old. She just turned 5, so that's my favorite picture so far. She did such a cool job on it. Good for her. So that was amazing. So I got home and had that awesome picture. Um, Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. It really is amazing. I love it. So cool. I'm gonna save that one forever. This is why we do this, guys. If when you're watching this, whether you're watching later or watching now, hopefully you get this message. Why do we fight and do this? It's that. That's why we do it. You have to have a purpose bigger than the illness you're fighting. You have to have a purpose bigger than the fight that you're fighting. It doesn't matter if it is so cute. We got a couple awesome comments starting to come in. Um, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with in life. You got to find a purpose that's greater than the problem. That's how you overcome problems. And I want to take some time after we're going to do my blood work now. Um, as soon as I'm done this, I just want to take some time to talk about, a lot of people talk about believing that you can overcome cancer. If you just believe it, it'll go away. But I want to take time to talk about it. I definitely think that's a huge part of it. I definitely believe that's a big part of the battle, but I want to talk about the why. Why is it so important? Um, that's where I really want to talk about that for a bit. And then and hopefully we can get some callers. I see we got Christy sitting here, but device not connected. So maybe we will have a caller tonight. Last night's live, we had a caller right at the end, right as I hit end stream, and they came in. So just so everybody knows, if you're willing to call in, if you call in, it's a backstage. You get put into a backstage, and you can still watch the live, and you can still post comments and stuff and watch it on YouTube. It's really cool. So if you're planning on calling in, just go ahead and like click the link now, and I'll see you in the backstage. It's really awesome. I lost my husband 16 years ago, pancreatic cancer. Fed him insurance cards. It's not your fault. Yeah, nobody knows, Michelle. Like, it's once you kind of learn all this stuff, I understand how you can feel. It's not your fault. It's what you're told to do. Like when I was first diagnosed, they put Ensure in my face, then they stuffed it down my throat. So it's absolutely, it's mainstream. It's your oncologist's fault. Like they knew this. They knew this back then. They knew this. They know this now. They're still doing it today. Nothing's changed in 16 years. It's not like we're not doctors, we're not oncologists. It's sad we have to figure this out on our own. It really makes me angry. Um, so many people like that they could be saving with metabolic therapy. Integrative doctors, though, that's a real thing. I learned all about it today from the new guy, and so there are doctors now coming out and participating as integrative doctors, and I actually found one that's reasonably close. Hopefully, I can get in to see him. So you can find doctors that'll incorporate metabolic therapy finally. So so there is some hope now. Michelle, I did the same with my mom. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lee. And Lee, how do I say your name? Am I saying it right? Lee Ann, because you're in here a lot and I see your comments and thank you for your participation. Lee, Leah Ann or Lee Ann. I hope I get it right. So I've learned today that you gotta massage the finger a bit, helps you get the blood flow. But yeah, again, Leanne, it's not Lee. Lee Ann. Is it one, like, do I say it like one word? Lee Ann? Or, I hope I'm saying it okay. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with names. They told me today you don't need to wipe it when they do the glucose, but I don't know. Keto Mojo says to wipe it. When I got my Keto Mojo meter, they said that you can wipe it. It's more accurate, possibly, if you wipe it. Oh, I forgot to open these. Usually I open these ahead of time. So we do glucose first, as always. So I learned today actually just massage it to get the blood draw coming up, like massage your finger underneath, and actually it just worked quite a bit better. I'm gonna ask my wife to come and read this name once she's off the phone to make sure I get it right. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. It could be any name and I'd mess it up. So please don't hold it against me. But I do want to really make sure I try to get names right too. All right, we got the glucose meter going. All right, guys. Hyperbaric Oxygen, I was actually in the 60s, like I said. It's probably up now. I drove through traffic, 83. That's still really good glucose. I'll take it. They measured in Canadian units, and so we convert it there. They helped me convert it, so I knew what my glucose was, which was really cool of them. We got lots of comments starting to come in. I love the comments, guys. Keep dropping thoughts and ideas in the chat. I haven't read them, so sorry, I don't know what they say, but keep the chat rocking. And then I want to take some time to talk about the mental and why it's important to believe in something for anything, any fight that you're facing. All right, let's hope we get the high ketones. I don't know what hyperbaric oxygen does to ketones, but we're about to find out. And I ate nothing today. I fasted today, just so everybody's aware. 4.3, a little higher than last night. We should have a good reading. Let's see what the GKI is. But I fasted today. I had nothing to eat yet. And I'm that's another thing that I want to update everybody. I might finish this last. I haven't had any real food, and today's day 12, right? Today's day 11. Again, the goal is 18 days. Just some animal fat and some bone broth. I might finish just water only. I might even do a few days of dry fasting. I really want to hit it hard. It's only till next week, so it's only a week away. There's this hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, but also the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life. Like once you're in ketosis and you go into fasting, it's not that bad. Can't wait for the finish line. I really want to eat some real food. I'm dying for. I actually want a piece of salmon to break my fast. I'm just killing time while this starts up here. All right, we got GKI sinking. 4.2 and 82, I think it was, in case it doesn't sink. It's not sinking. Oh man, again. I hate it when it doesn't sync. Well, I might have to manually enter it. I don't want to mess around like I did last night. It still didn't connect. Come on. Try one more time. What were the numbers again? 82 and 4.2. Is that right? Can you guys drop it in the chat? Was it 82 glucose and 4.2 ketones? It's not connecting. That's so annoying. Oh well. I got an email today from somebody that's extremely well versed in the metabolic fight, and he said it's amazing that I'm showing and demonstrating why it's so important to check your ketones and glucose daily. It's one thing just to say, "Oh, I'm on keto diet fighting cancer," and then you have a bunch of fruits or whatever, which could be fine, but you gotta really, you gotta know what's going on with their blood work if you want to make any difference. And just testing frequently is going to make all the difference in the world. 82 glucose, 4.2 ketones. Hopefully, does anybody drop that in the chat? Do I have this right? I think it was. Save entry. Coming off, if that's correct, I'm positive it's correct at 1 GKI again. So that's another great day of the GKI. GKI is killing it, guys. This cancer hates me with the hyperbaric oxygen and vitamin C on Thursday. Okay, I got the okay, so that's all put away. Let's check some comments and then I want to talk for a minute. Let's get a caller in here. Yeah, again, you guys sit backstage, so you can call in now if you want to call in. Somebody called in late last night. I just missed. I just hit end. Um, let's read some comments here. So yeah, I'm gonna come back to Lee Ann's name. I want to get that right. Lee Ann. Um, Lee Ann, I'm Italian. I did anything to make him eat. He was 59. Yeah. It's horrible, guys. It's not our fault. Like I went the first 6 months eating whatever, doing whatever. People say, "Oh, you can't smoke and do this and drink or anything." But honestly, carbs and sugar are the ones driving the cancer. You can smoke all you want once you have cancer. It doesn't drive your glucose. Like I'm not saying it's a good idea, but it's the truth. Um, the nurses told us to wipe the first blood away to clean off the alcohol. Cleaning with alcohol can make the glucose numbers higher. Yeah, that's what I thought. At the hyperbaric oxygen chamber today, they're like, "Yeah, you don't need to." But they squeeze. That's what I thought. So I always wipe it. So that's for the best. Yeah, okay. And they said too, like you can. It's probably a little more accurate. So I'll keep wiping it. Everybody, wipe your keto mojo when you first get the blood. It's more accurate. Thank you, Whitley. I appreciate Whitley, Cat, and Terry. I really appreciate that. You got my name right. Oh, okay, Lee Ann. Perfect. All right, I'm glad I got it. I don't have to bug my mom. Where can I order ivermectin? Can anyone? Yeah, I got a spot. Email me. I don't want to put it in the chat. J underscore Wa. Are you in Canada or the US? Answer that first and then email me if once I know. I found a spot in BC. It's not cheap, but I found a spot out of BC. How long? I didn't find a spot. A subscriber actually helped me out. How long were you in there? I was in there for an hour, but it was actually more like it was over 2. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Because they have to bring the pressure up. So that takes about half an hour. You're in the USA. It's easier in the USA to get ivermectin. I know in BC, Canada, I don't have a spot in the US. How long were you in there? So yeah, half an hour to bring the pressure up. And it's like you're taking off an airplane. It's like your head's gonna explode. And I had to stop at one point because my one ear wouldn't clear, and it can do permanent hearing damage if you don't stop and clear your ear. So we had to do that. Can anybody help out ivermectin in the States? And then after you're done, you have to depressurize. So they bring the pressure down, and that takes another like 20 minutes, half hour. So I was in there grand total. I watched Sully, so from start to finish and the credits on Netflix, and I was still, and then I was watching the previews for like advertisements for TV shows to watch for another 10 or 15 minutes. So I was in there a long time. The actual at total pressure, which they did me at 2.2, which is really high starting rate. It's just that a really good doctor. I already went through this at the start, but I'll review it again. It was they put yeah, I know. Sorry, my wife had to take an urgent call and she just said something. Yeah, the pressure's like crazy. So they started me really high, which was awesome, really aggressive, just my style. Loved it. And really cool doctor, all about, I said the name earlier, what kind of doctor, integrative doctors help him. He's gonna help me find one to help me with all this finally. Drawing makes life better. It does. If any art, I was always into woodworking. I want to get back to it now that I seem to be doing better. Okay, in the US for the ivermectin, guys, help them out. Anybody that knows how to get ivermectin in the US, please drop information in the comments. My name is Terry. My cat is Whitley. I have a YouTube channel featuring him. That's why the name is weird. It's awesome. Drop the channel in the comments. Maybe we can check her out. Give you some likes. Which product do you use for methylene blue? I actually have it in my bag right here. Just to show the doctor. I forgot the brand name. Oh, I took it out already. Methylene blue is this one here. Life Good. It's like acid tabs. It's like you're dropping acid. And I fold it up into a square and swallow it because it literally stains your mouth instantly. Even if you don't have cancer, honestly, I mean, anybody watching this, methylene blue is amazing. It's a nootropic. I don't know, an anti-aging nootropic, but like you get like super zoned in. It's like taking like a shot of Ritalin or something. I don't know, like super focused and flow state. It's awesome. And like there's so many good benefits from methylene blue. It goes through your whole body. And my pee is so blue that it actually, my wife says I got to clean the toilet after I pee, because it'll stain the toilet if I don't. Methylene blue is amazing. It does repair broken mitochondrial function. I get it from India. Nice. You can get ivermectin. So there you go, ivermectin from India. There's lots of cool India sites where you can order lots of cool drugs. Just Google it. You'll definitely find something. It's kind of trial and error. You might get something that's not quite ivermectin. Real ivermectin, the ones that usually come from India and stuff, are usually look like this when you're looking online. So that's the ivermectin you're looking for. Come on, focus. Put hand behind it, somebody said. There we go. That's the ivermectin you're looking for. Oh, this way. In a box that kind of looks like this. And yeah, there's lots of sites that you can get it from. It's not cheap. Ivermectin, when you're not getting prescribed it and it's not covered, it's definitely expensive. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Okay, so my mental state. So my buddy was talking. He's like, "Your mental state's so important." Everybody always says, "Stay strong, be positive." Anybody wants to call in? Call in. Christy's sitting here, but I don't. Christy, do you want to call in? Your camera's not on. I don't know if you want to call in. I got your mushrooms, by the way, Christy. Um, I just got them. I can grab them and show you. I'm so pumped to take them. Thank you so much. Went to the mailbox as I got home from Hyperbaric Oxygen. It was like the first thing I did. Meant to do it this morning. I was running late getting the kids ready, and last night I was so exhausted I didn't do it. So mind state and belief. Like a lot of people think if you believe in just beating cancer, it'll just go away. And it's not really true. But it's totally true. Like your mindset is so important. Let's talk about why. It doesn't matter if you're fighting cancer, if you're fighting anything, if you want to overcome a mountain, if your life's just being a piece of shit, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Mindset is like, of the utmost importance. So if you just sit there and go, I believe that I can strangle myself for 10 minutes and not die, best of luck to you. Like, it doesn't quite work that way. However, you say, I believe that I can train myself to hold my breath for 5 or 6 minutes. It's totally doable. And so I've never committed to saying I'm going to beat cancer, and I don't even necessarily think that's necessarily my goal. Like just being alive is my goal. Um, but I believe I can stay alive, and believing in it, in that will to live, has drove me to finding all this metabolic therapy. It's drove me to do all this trial and error. Like I'm taking 96 milligrams of ivermectin at home by myself and overdosing on it. Like, I mean, but I've done my research. I put in the work first. I knew ivermectin was safe. I don't just take it because somebody says ivermectin can shrink my cancer. Like, I knew that it was a safe drug and I couldn't overdose and die. Like, and I'm not saying that anybody should push their limits like I've pushed it, but definitely I think believing in the will to overcome your challenge or your problem is the first step. And if you have that, that creates the motivation and the drive. And then the second step is to put in the work. And in this case, it's the research and the metabolic therapy um, that I've put in to overcome the cancer. But if it's any challenge that you're facing, you first need to believe in yourself and find the drive to lay out the groundwork and do the things that you need to do. And you need to set a realistic goal. And I'm really upset because I was supposed to have a podcast with a girl, but she's in a different side of the world. But her whole thing, and I unfortunately, I didn't realize. So the time zone was different, but I didn't realize we were on different days. So she was assuming. So I thought so. It was supposed to be on Wednesday. Well, tomorrow is Wednesday to me. Her Wednesday's today. And so it was supposed to be 6 a.m. her time, 5 p.m. my time. So I thought it was Wednesday night, 5 p.m., 6 a.m. Turns out it was 5 p.m. tonight, Tuesday, 6 a.m. is actually her Wednesday. So I totally screwed that up. But I can't wait to hear from her. Her whole thing is to do better each day. And so you got to believe in yourself first, then and believe in the obstacle or the mountain that you have to climb. That's like the first step. And it's probably the most important step because once you have that belief, you can find the internal drive and desire to put in the work. And in this case, it's the metabolic therapy. It's reading all the off-label medications. It's taking the medications. And I don't think people realize, maybe we should talk about that. It is so hard to get up every day and take these friggin' pills. I go through periods where I get lazy and I don't take my protocol. It does happen. Like, it's not a good thing. It's so hard to sit there and it takes time out of your day, your busy day, and doing this multiple times a day. You got to pull out all these pills and you got to swallow them, and you're sick of swallowing these massive horse pills. And to go through every container, this is just the prescription type pills. This isn't, this is nothing. Like, you guys have seen my protocol over there, and you got to take out each container and you got to swallow it. Then you got to put in the work with the diet. Like, I'm on today's day 11. I have not eaten 11 days of real meal. Man, it's tempting, but I'm gonna see this through. Like, and it's because I have the original belief in myself and I have the will to live. And what you really need is a purpose greater than the problem. And for me, it's my kids and my wife, and that's an amazing thing to have. And whatever you're trying to overcome, everybody's got a purpose. Like, you can find a purpose, and you can find that drive, and it's in you somewhere. If you just say, "I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore," yeah, people do usually not make it, especially we're talking about cancer for a second or any other goal. If you say if you're drinking too much alcohol, for example, you say, "I just give up," you're just gonna keep drinking. If you say, "I give up the fight for cancer," it's not because you didn't it's not the actual physical act of saying, "I give up," and then not making it. It's probably more or less that you didn't have that drive to put in the work to find a solution to your problem. That's where the belief is so important. Anyways, I kind of went on a tangent. Christy, do you want to call in? I don't see. I've asked a few times. You're sitting here, but I don't. So, do you want me to add you to stage? Do you want to talk on stage? Think it keeps saying device disconnected, so I don't know what that means. If anybody else wants to call in, just click the link. You'll be sitting on the backstage here. Christy, if you want to let me know in the comments if you want me to add you to stage. Your device keeps disconnecting though, so I'm not sure what you want to do. I get antibiotics and ivermectin from Jace. A morning show advertises it. Really? Really? And that's obviously in the US. That's pretty cool. So yeah, who's looking for ivermectin, there's another good option for you. Help me find ivermectin right here. Uh, I can't say that name. Sorry, I don't want to butcher it. Sorry guys, I suck with names. Right here, here's a good option for you. Antibiotics from Jase, Jase. Um, oh yeah, you're talking about the mushrooms. Yeah, Amanda, can you grab that box for me that's over there on the desk? I should have grabbed it before I started. How can you take all your pills with no food? Oh, Michelle, that is not a fun task. It hurts my stomach. It's not easy. Oh my god, I got my first super chat. Yeah, that empty mushroom box to your left. Guys, I just got my first super chat. Robert B, congrats on YouTube partnership. Thank you for sharing your journey. Oh my god. Thanks, man. Yeah, this. Thanks, Robert. Sorry, guys. I just need a second. Yeah, so thanks for that, man. I couldn't have done it with this without all you guys. Love and support. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. That's awesome. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, this has been awesome. Like telling my story and all the love that's come back and how quickly we've grown. It's just been amazing and so many amazing comments from everyone. It's just been beautiful. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, thanks, buddy. You're very welcome. Thanks to everybody for honestly, there's been one negative person. I've had thousands and thousands of positivity and love, and it's been amazing and all kinds of great ideas, and it's just really been amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody watching. Thank you. Hard time connect some reason. Not sure. Thank you, cat lady. Appreciate it. Oh, you mean to join in the call? Yeah, it's a hard time to connect. It keeps disconnecting. And I can't really add. Do you want me to add you to stage, Christy? I will. Just let me know. But yeah, it keeps disconnecting. Thank you so much, cat lady. How do I do that? Uh, I'm. How do I donate? Yeah, so I was just approved for there's super stickers, super thanks, and super chats. It's in the chat when you click it. Um, yeah, that's how you do it. It's in the chat on YouTube. You click it and I'll check over here. And you can do super chat, super thanks, or super stickers. Oh, that just totally I don't even know what to talk about now. Thanks so much, guys. I guess that's it. And does anybody want to call in? Um, I'll leave it open here for a few more minutes if we don't get a caller. I don't think there's much more to talk about. Christy actually um, sent me this, which I'm going to add to my protocol because I'm taking a bunch of mushroom pills all separately. And so I'm going to add this to my protocol instead. It's got the stuff I take, Birch Boy's fungi. I do believe mushrooms have a lot of therapeutic benefits, and it's actual dropper, which is so cool. So I don't have to swallow a million pills. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate it, man. You have a good night, eh? Take care. I really, really appreciate it. That was awesome. Thank you. Um, yeah, so back to that question on the pills. That's where I was when this came in. Um, how do I take my pills with an empty stomach? It is so hard. It hurts my stomach. I get nauseous. I have to drink so much water because I'm taking so much pills, and because I had my esophagectomy, my stomach fills up quickly, and I feel like I'm gonna barf, and I got hot. It's so hard. It's a challenge. Um, it was a lot easier when I had a full stomach, and I could just eat normal food. Now that I'm fasting, it's the hardest ever. Even before I was fasting, it was almost impossible. But I don't know. Again, you have the greater purpose, you know why you're doing it. I'm really bad at remembering my noon pills. My morning and night pills, I'm right on. But when I want to take something 3 times a day, it's almost impossible to do. Um, it's very hard to take those pills. Um, thanks so much, Robert. I'm speechless. I honestly just I needed a minute there. Sorry, guys. Um, Yeah, it's only 6 hours away from my house, it's so cool. Except for it's in the States, and I don't have a passport, it just renewed, so my wife just sent it in, so it just expired, so I can't go over there and get them. Will my stomach stretch over time? Oh, I need a Kleenex, except for mine's got blood all over it. Possibly. It'll stretch a little bit. I got a screenshot. Somebody said, sauerkraut, and I wish I pulled it up because maybe you guys could help me, some of the carnivores here, for stretching your stomach. Maybe I took a screenshot, but they said sauerkraut and fermented something. And I've heard you guys talk about this before for digestion and stuff, some of the carnivores, and I actually don't know that answer because I haven't gotten to that yet. Let me check my pictures. What is fermented? I can't read the word. I don't know what it is. I'm so bad with I use AI a lot to summarize a lot of my research. Like I use Samsung Earnings, so they've had AI now for 6 months. So I can go to a publication or a published study or paper, and I can just click the AI button to summarize it, and it'll give me all the most important, relevant information. And it's extremely reliable and dependable and accurate. Apple finally announced on the 10th that they're coming out with AI, but they're so far behind the boat on this. AI is my lifesaver. Let's see if I can find a picture of how to stretch your stomach. I will look into that. John Baker, stomach shrunk will find shrink quickly on ribeye. That is hard to gain weight. A golden nugget, Dr. Sean O'Mara advised me, is to eat my meat with ferments. What's ferments? With a little real sauerkraut or kimchi. So I know what sauerkraut is, but eat your meat with ferments. Does anybody know what that is? I've seen you guys drop it in the chat before. I just don't know what it is. It's all right, Christy. Um, no problem. It keeps dropping. Like I tried to add you to stage twice, but it says I can add you now. You want me to add you now? It says it's gonna work. Should I go for it? All right, guys. I'll try to add Christy to stage. Veggies with salt and let it sit for 5 days. That's what ferments is. It's hard to do when you're carnivore. Although I do have some vegetables. So veggies with salt and let it sit for 5 days, like in the fridge. Here, I'll add you to stage to see if this works. Hey, Christy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a lot of playback here. So ferments, it's just veggies with salt and you let it sit in the fridge.
Yes.
That's
Like
hard to
any
do when you're
it's not that hard. You just get some like cabbages and then you put
yeah.
some salt and then massage the cabbages and then a lot of juice will come out. And
Mm,
you put it in the bottle, glass bottle, and
yep.
put the lid on, but not so tight because it could blow up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you just let it sit, put the lid on and let it sit. And next day, you're going to see the bubbles coming up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
But when you're carnivore, you're not really eating vegetables. That's the only
Yeah.
downside.
The thing
But with
is, there's
sour
a Dr. Sean O'Mara.
mhm,
He talks all about visceral fat that causes a lot of problems in your body. And
mhm,
he recommends that you need to eat some kind of fermented foods with carnivore that works as a bioavailability to digest your
mhm.
meat better.
And after the esophagectomy, I'm looking at adding apple cider vinegar for that purpose.
Yeah,
Because after the esophagectomy, you have huge like I've lost half my stomach and it's a pouch now, so you get a lot of like indigestion and it's hard to digest your food and digest it. And now I'm the pylorus muscle, like spending time in hospitals and going back for well, they redo my surgery. So I don't know, trying some different ideas is probably not going to hurt. Just
yeah,
check my glucose and I don't know. You gotta be careful, but I really
yeah,
believe carnivore is the answer though to beating cancer, like or any other illness too, like strict carnivore. Like,
yeah.
I always go back to Jordan Peterson and his,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Lions diet, 1 ribeye a day, like, he eats till he's stuffed on that 1 ribeye. I can't eat a whole ribeye in 1 sitting, otherwise that's what I would be doing right now if I could. But maybe
yeah,
I've had lots of comments on adding this fermented thing to my diet, so
yeah.
a
You
big
should
thing.
watch Dr. Sean
Yeah, I'll check
O'Mara.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um I feel like somebody actually emailed me stuff about him today, one of our
Yeah.
subscribers. I gotta look back and check. That's really cool. Thank you so much for this gift. I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
anytime. You can drive there only 6 hours
Yeah.
instead of taking a whole week for you to get
Yeah.
it.
It's across the border
It's
though.
oh, okay. So is it hard for you to cross?
Oh, it's a pain. Like the Canadian, I don't know if you've
Oh,
ever crossed
okay.
into Canada. The border agents are, you'd have to hide it, yeah, because they probably wouldn't like it. Because like I don't know.
Yeah.
Either I don't know, maybe you wouldn't, but, like, a lot of groceries you're not allowed to bring plants and, like, mushrooms and stuff, so I don't know if they'd allow it or not, who knows?
Or you can even make that at home because I'm making it right now.
Oh, that's cool, yeah,
Yeah.
'cause yeah, and then put it in a dropper, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
all you need to do if you have a mushrooms, just chop it up and, cover with the Evercrest or 75% proof alcohol.
yeah,
And you just let it sit
alcohol,
for 6 weeks. You just shake it every
yeah,
day. But with the mushrooms, they do double extract, one with the alcohol, one with the water. And then you get the
mhm,
most benefit by doing it.
right. For everyone watching, mushrooms, Paul Stamets, I'm a big fan of, and as you know, I can talk about it now, I did microdosing psilocybin for my neuropathy, it worked wonders, but he's got a few really strong, studies on using turkey tail mushrooms for,
Yes.
breast cancer.
Yes.
There's a lot of good benefits to some mushrooms. I know a lot of us are carnivores. It's interesting though, mushrooms, they're not a plant, they breathe oxygen, so that is the one vegetable I would say that's not even a vegetable, I don't know what it is, it's fungus.
Fungi.
I do I do like fungi, I will say I don't eat it every day, but I take the capsules because there is some
Yeah.
serious benefit in some of the extracts, if you're fighting cancer.
Yes.
There's some benefits for other things, like, lion's mane's really good for Alzheimer's disease.
Yes.
There's a lot of benefits to neuropathy and lion's mane as well. There's a lot of benefits all around to
Yeah.
different fungi. Antibiotics are fungi, but anyhow, for the most
But
part,
yeah.
I just stick to the extracts and take the pills
Yes.
because
Just
I do
like
think it can
green
help.
tea extract is more potent. So
Yeah,
that,
I take that.
yeah, the fungi extract is more potent.
Yeah,
So if you want to make fermented, you don't even need to massage anything. Just get the red cabbages and just slice it and then put some water and put some salt. That's all you need to do. And
that's
then
awesome.
let it sit on the counter. It'll just ferment. The liquid that comes from it, it's called a Jubilac, and you can just drink that. Start drinking that instead of apple cider vinegar because it has a
Okay.
lot more good bacteria. And then it red cabbages, 1 cup of red fermented red cabbages, it'll give you 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
So
Fermented. Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta do something for my digestion when I start eating again because my
yeah,
pylorus muscle is causing me severe issues. So, everybody that's had an esophagectomy will understand that.
yeah. Just make sure take a small amount. A lot of people don't tolerate with those kind of fermented foods.
I think I'll probably tolerate it. I get a lot of bad acid reflux because there's no like my stomach is
Yeah.
just a little pouch now, so everything just comes
Yes.
right up. So
Yeah.
this is really good info for anybody with esophagectomy, different things to
Hmm.
try. Like honestly, you gotta do whatever works to it's just a complete challenge in its own. So it's
Can you
really good
take a
info.
spicy food? Spicy fermented?
No,
No? Okay.
no, spices are horrible. I
Okay.
love spicy food though.
Yeah. So there is Koreans, they make kimchi. That's very spicy. That's a
That's awesome.
fermented cabbages. Yeah.
You got a lot of background knowledge in that book you sent me on lost medicine. That was really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um,
You mean the MMS?
yeah, MMS. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay,
that
yeah.
was really cool.
So I take MMS. I spray in my throat because my thyroid.
Okay.
And then I do have a biopsy coming up, July 5th.
You booked it. Good for you. I'm glad that you booked it. Well, just can you share what that's on with everybody? Because that was a private chat that we had on the
Okay,
phone.
so my history is 2011. I go to doctor, just check once a year, physical, checkup. And they said, your nodule on your thyroid is kind of big. And so we did a biopsy. At the time, I was living in California. And so, make a long story short, I found this surgeon, thyroid surgeon. He was Chinese, he was the best. Anyways, they end up taking half of my thyroid, and I didn't have any symptoms or anything. I didn't do radiation, I didn't do any chemos or anything, luckily. And so they took the half of my thyroid out. And then after that, like 10 years later, 2 years ago, they found some kind of, uh, what do you call it, tumor in my thymus gland. And they said it could have been there for the last 20 years. But luckily, it was just sitting on my chest. Sometimes, once in a while, I notice I have a hard time breathing, but I didn't know why. And so this is after we moved to Boston area. And so I found a surgeon, and he took out my thymus gland. It's called a thymoma. And then I was fine for 2 years, but this year, when they do the CT scan, they found some kind of just spots, in my lung and my spleen, and there's somewhere else. 3 different spots. But one of them was 4 millimeter, and the other one is 7 millimeter. But on my lung is 15 millimeter. And so they want to do the biopsy. But my goal is to get rid of that. So when I go to do the biopsy, they cannot find it. That's my goal. So I treat myself right now like I have cancer, like you do.
That's But really, you do have cancer like I do. It's metastasized. You got multiple spots, and when we
Yeah.
talked, you were really scared of the biopsy, and
Yes.
I think that's a kind of a little moment for conversation because it's really important if you don't mind us talking about it.
Sure.
Okay. Biopsies is like when you go to the doctors, they say they're low risk, this and that, but I don't know. Depending on your cancer and your situation, I think there is more need for consideration. Definitely get the biopsy in order to identify if it's cancer or not and figure out targeted treatment. But there is a real cause for concern in terms of when they do the biopsy. Like it can open up, cancer can spread. There's a lot of risk to the biopsy itself. My friend, one of my buddies I grew up with, actually, unfortunately, has advanced stage cancer. And they went in
Oh,
to do a biopsy on him, and they didn't tell him there's any risks, and his lungs collapsed on him, and he wasn't
oh
expecting it, which
my
of course is
gosh.
reversible and fixable.
Yeah.
But the cause to concern is to ask more questions on can this cancer spread? What are my risks? What are my risks to my body? Like if the biopsy's in the lung. And so when you reached out to me, you or yourself were very nervous of the biopsy, and I think that feeling is
Yeah,
warranted.
I was because I hear all these horrible stories that they can drop cancer cells anywhere else and get spread.
Yeah, I think that is a cause for concern.
Yeah.
I really
And
do.
then one thing, so after they took out my thyroid, half of my thyroid, um, I've been, following up once a year for ultrasound and things like that. And so they found 9 millimeter on my left thyroid, but I was using MMS for 3 weeks. I sprayed it. And then when I went to do the biopsy, they couldn't find it.
Yeah, the MMS. So that's
Yeah.
something to definitely look into, everybody. I got it on my list. You did send it to me, and I've looked through it, but I have to really sit down and take my time and make more notes on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I'm tired. I've been on here going on an hour, and I did my hyperbaric oxygen today. We got 18 people in the chat. I got my first super
Wow.
chat today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Christy, I'm gonna let you off stage now
Okay.
just
Thanks for
to
having
wrap this
us.
up.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
no, thank
sharing.
you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You have a good night. We'll talk
Thank you.
soon.
You too. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much. If there's nobody else on stage now. So I got my first super chat tonight. I really appreciate it. I couldn't have done it without this community. I wouldn't have gotten to be a YouTube partner. It really is amazing. Thank you guys so much. Yes, Michelle, have a good night. Ned joined us. Ned, I'll call you after. Sorry, I was in the hyperbaric chamber. Um, thanks everybody. It's just been an amazing journey, and I just sorry about breaking down there for a minute. Oh my God, there's another super chat. Oh, it's a super sticker. Thank you, random Q toss simp. Thank you so much, man. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. The love has just been unreal, guys. It's just been unreal. Um, mm, it's just the comments. It's thank you. Super sticker. I think it's in the chat on YouTube. Oh, thanks, guys. That's amazing. Holy God. Like just the I'm just like thank you so much. All right, guys, have a good night. Bye now.